Hey folks, Prepper Princess. So today we're getting some projects done at the house, and I had to go and buy some new tools in order to get the projects done. Fireplace is finished. Now I need to do some tiling and figure out a way to get to my water heater. But anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about there are two pains in life: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. So what is discipline? Discipline is what's left over after motivation is gone. You know, every year, January 1st, everybody goes and gets a gym membership. They are motivated to lose weight, and then they quit after 6-8 weeks because they've lost their motivation and they do not have discipline. Discipline is what's left over. So you have two options in life. You can live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. So discipline, when it comes to money saving, is what's left over after the motivation to save money and reduce your expenses is gone. And then once you have the discipline, it becomes the way you live. It's just your life. And I get a lot of people who say, what's the end game? Well, there is no end game. I'm just going to continue to live well below my means. Continue to save money until I'm no longer able to. And then that's it. The pain of regret is, you know, there's a couple of these channels who recently have been doing food bank hauls and life on Social Security, and these are the people who are living with the pain of regret. They regret that they did not save their money when they were making it. They regret that they didn't have the discipline to save money when they didn't have to. You know, most people live paycheck to paycheck or spend 120% of their money, which is a huge problem that we have here in the United States, is that we're spoiled. We are spoiled to death. Poverty here in the United States is what kings used to live with back in the day. And we're actually even better off than the kings of our yesteryears. But it's incredibly important in this day and age to be disciplined. To discipline yourself to put that extra money in your 401k, your Roth IRA, your stock investment portfolio, and to continue to do it like a habit. Because once you run out of motivation, you have discipline. Once you have discipline, you have a habit. Your habit becomes a lifestyle. And it's not, when you first start out doing it, when you're first tightening your belt and not spending any money, it feels deprivating. It feels hard. It feels difficult. It feels constricting. And it takes me about 6 months to make any huge adjustment on my finances, about 6 months to 9 months. And then I've got it down. And when I first started out becoming debt-free back in my early 20s, it hurt. It was hard. It was not fun. And then I eventually became disciplined after the motivation was gone. And then it became my lifestyle. It just became the way that I live my life. Now, when I look at other people spending money to entertain themselves, I don't even understand anymore. Nobody can explain it to me because it's just the way I am. It's the way my brain works. I had to retrain my brain so that I could find things that were free to me that would entertain me. And I'm not really that easily entertained, folks. But if let's just do it for instance. I live here in Arizona. I'm near the Grand Canyon. You can go to the Grand Canyon. You can pay the $28, I believe it is, to go into a certain area of the Grand Canyon, or you can drive along the highway, pull over, and you're at the Grand Canyon already, take your pictures, and it's exactly the same. The only difference is it's not in a tourist destination area, but it's the same thing except it's free. Why would you go and pay $28 when you can do the exact same thing for free. I personally don't understand that. When you go to like a mountain bike rental place, why would you go and rent a mountain bike when you've got one at home sitting there doing nothing? All you have to do is put it in your car, and again, it's free because you already have a bike. You already have a bicycle. Why would you go and pay $25, $30 to rent somebody else's bike when you already have one? I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. And to most people who watch my channel, it makes perfect sense to you. You're like, well, duh, why would you pay $28 to do that when you could do it for free? It's the same thing with buying your lunch every day. Why on earth would you spend $15 on a lunch when you can make it at home for free? And discipline, it's hard to get to discipline. You gotta, once you get past the motivation, you're on the discipline, and your only other option, it's painful in the beginning, but your only other option is the pain of regret. So which one would you rather have? Would you rather have that pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Me personally, I'd much rather have the pain of discipline. Much rather have the pain of discipline, because when you live with pain of discipline, you can adjust, you can change things. When you have the pain of regret, it's too late. You can't go back in time and fix those things. You can't go back in time and slap yourself upside the head when you're 20 years old and say, save some money, stupid. It's too late. You can't do that anymore. But when you're living with the pain of discipline, you have the option of changing your lifestyle. You have the option of changing your mindset, your way of thinking. It's still something that you can do. And it's very important. And especially now with the way our economy is just, it's awful. You guys know that. The economy's awful. What if you're not able to get a job that pays you the same as you made before, when you were living at 120% of your take-home pay before anyway? Times are incredibly hard for everyone. The price of food right now has just gone insane. When I first moved to Arizona, I was like, wow, these prices are really cheap. And then they started creeping up, and I was like, okay, well, it's on par with the California prices. And now I go to the grocery store, I'm like, you want how much for milk? Oh, speaking of milk, doggone it, I gotta go get milk. Here we go again. So yeah, when it comes to milk, I've been adding water to it and freezing it so that I can try and get the best deals. And it works out really well for me. And my coffee addiction. I have a coffee addiction, a soap addiction, and a sock addiction. It's a problem. I'm not working on any of them because they're all cheap addictions. But I stopped buying soap because I've got over 80 bars of soap. I think it's like 95 bars of soap. I stopped counting after 80, and then I saw like another 12-pack bar of soap, and I was like, okay, that's enough. But I digress. And that soap will probably last me the rest of my life. And we all have our little addictions. Thankfully, mine are cheap. But I just wanted to throw this out to you guys. These are words that I got from Tony Robbins, I believe. He's got a Netflix movie out called I'm Not Your Guru. It's an interesting movie, but it's just that one part that really snapped to me was you can live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, and it's your choice. It's your choice which one you want to live with. So I'm pushing that on to you guys. What choice do you want to make? Do you want to live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? That's all I got for you guys right now. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.